We're going to keep this thing going of listening to our youth because they do have a voice. We do want them to be politically and civically engaged. And this is the standard of being involved, of showing up, of causing good trouble right here, right now, today. So I'm going to ask that you give a big round of applause for our next speaker. She's representing one of our core partners, our critical partners, our youth. Her name is Jayla Jackson. Come on up. Representing Future Coalitions.
Jayla!
Hi everyone, I'm Jayla Jackson. As she said, I'm 16 years old and I attend Holy Innocents Episcopal School. I was invited here to speak by Future Coalition and specifically a lady named Sophia Woodrow. So I must first give thanks to everybody who has made this possible. The turnout is amazing and I'm just so honored and blessed to be here right now. But we are here today because there is an issue at hand. An issue that is rooted deeply in our existence and an issue that impacts us all. In 1789, the Constitution granted states the right to create voter requirements. And at the time, this was only inclusive of tax-paying white men, which made about 6% of our population. And then in 1870, black men were granted the right to vote, but then came poll taxes, literacy tests, and grandfather clauses, which suppressed the black vote until about 1965. 1920, women are granted the right to vote. But of course, this wasn't inclusive of the minority female vote, and the same thing happened for the Native Americans and the Chinese. And even if we were to fast forward to 2013, and the Shelby County versus Holder case, in which the Supreme Court in a 5-4 vote said that the Voting Rights Act Section 4B was unconstitutional, this section that allowed for the federal review of voting requirements. But then came the 2020 election, where we saw a record high voter count, which left Georgia with one of the highest, with 95% of our 18 and older voters registered. So my question is, why now? Shouldn't our country be celebrating the vast participation and the right that is supposed to be the cornerstone of our nation? The right to vote, the place where the people have a voice, the American dream. Shouldn't we be celebrating a dream come true? See, dreams are time machines with the ability to take us years into the future and back within a matter of minutes, so it's not surprising that we find ourselves in a cycle. To oppress a group of people is to keep them down by physical force or authority. To repress them is to keep them from engaging in the world or society, but to suppress them is to end, inhibit, or keep them from being revealed. So the question is no longer why now, the question has become, what are you hiding? The question is, what are you hiding? What do you gain from restricting our piece of the pie and our seat at the table? What message would you get to air that our voice would then be silencing? We can no longer pin our humanity to an American dream that was created when now 69% of our country wouldn't even be considered American. We stand in a center that honors one of the earliest and greatest voting rights initiative leaders, Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. And there is nothing more that I feel right now than energized. Energized to say that nobody is living the American dream. Nobody, because it is just that. A fantasy created in an altered state of consciousness, typically one of sleep. It is a ruse and a tease that has broke our hearts in an endless cycle. We must realize that we cannot live in something that was created when eyes were closed, and even those that it was created for find themselves resting in contradiction. 58 years ago today, Martin Luther King took to the Lincoln Memorial to tell the world that he had a dream. But for me, it never was a dream. It was a vision. The ability to see, to plan for the future with imagination and with wisdom. We are not here because we are dreamers. We are not descended from them either. We are here because we see. We see that we have let the greatest foe to obtaining our rights be left in charge of maintaining them. We see that in that instance, suppression is guaranteed, but we also see that the greatest foe to suppression will and has always been sustainability. So we will be here From the young people to the vets, and from the allies to the activists, from the leaders to the led, we will be here, calling out every instance of injustice that tips the scales into our opposers. And anybody who wants to stand in the way of what is rightfully ours, I say dream on. I say dream on. Because what is real is the fight in those of us who are here today. What is real is the energy transferred from obtainers to maintainers with every ounce of our audacity. What is real is that we will be here walking in the vision and just a grab away from execution, because a vision without action is merely just a dream. We are here to urge our lawmakers to put in place voter protection laws, since it seems that our democracy was not enough. We are here to march as those before us did. We are here to send a message that this is not just about my vote or your vote or anybody else's vote. This was about our right to vote. This was about our responsibility to hold on to the one thing that gets us closest to equality. It is our necessity to make choices for ourselves. So if I don't get up here and say anything else, I say that it's time to start seeing some change. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jayla. Jayla, 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 Jayla.
Jayla, Jayla, Jayla.
Thank you, Jayla, for those inspiring words, for the reminder of the legacy that we have to continue, and to have the vision, to keep the vision going, to have the maintenance going, because we have to make sure it's not just a dream. Next we have Ben Jealous, who's going to be joining us. Let's give him a round of applause. We've got to keep